Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to another live show. As usual, your boys are in here on a Sunday for you guys. As usual, if you guys are joining us live, please make sure to hit the like button so we can get this shared out to more people in the algorithm. And as usual, we don't have nothing to sell. Just a little insurance link down below where we get a little bit of a kickback. Outside of that, all this information is to help the community grow. Felix, you're in slightly different attire. You can't see him from the waist down, but my boy is, let me make sure I can hear myself. Anyway, my boy just came back from the track. We're not going to divulge too much of what happened there. So if our good friend Larry is in the chat, because he was at the track as well, let's not spill the beans just yet.
They're over lunch, but so hopefully they'll join. We'll see.
But a lot of good things happened at the track today.
A lot of good things happen.
And some sketchy stuff, from what I've heard. But anyway.
There isn't fast without.
There isn't
fast without sketchy, for sure. For sure. You know where I was going with this, yeah. There isn't fast without sketchy.
But it kind of ties into you guys being at the track today. This week we released a video talking about 5 common mistakes that people make out on track and how to really fix them. And to me, it kind of resonates because as we go down this year, the goal is no longer just getting the seat time and learning, but it's trying to extract everything I can to get that lap time.
For sure.
So let's just start off with, where did you get these ideas from? Where did you get these 5 tips to make people faster?
Honestly, I just got it from going to the track and seeing what people are doing. We've been talking about it, like I wanted to make a generic video that's also kind of something quick someone can touch up on before they're heading to the track. I'm not gonna lie, I was headed to the track this morning like at 6 a.m. and I played that video like 3 times and I'm like, okay, use the entire track, make every apex. And it's just like a little refresh and it gets you like in the groove versus getting to your first session and now you're like, okay, make sure to use all the track, make sure to get to the apex. So it was for you guys, but it's been helping, it's already helped me. Yeah. And we've only had it out for a couple days, and I'm probably gonna revisit that video every time before we go to the track.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea because it's kind of like like you said, you're putting yourself in the mindset instead of waiting to get into the car, driving and then going, oh damn, we're supposed to use all the track, or I'm supposed to be looking through all the corners, which is really interesting. I mean,
brother, I was ready to rip session 1. And it's usually like a warm-up session for me.
You're a little bit of an exception though, right? I mean, come on. You're like, me, I get into the car and I'm just like, ooh, calm it down, brother.
Hey, Simon. What's up, Larry?
There you go. There
they are. They're the repeat offenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, like when I go out on track, there's multiple reasons to make this freaking video. When I go out on track, like it's super cool to get in a GT4 or get in a Cayman S and pass the 3RS. But at the same time, it kind of hurts me because it's like, I think about the people as like, they're missing every apex. They're off.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of know, they don't know what the heck they're doing. And if it's their first or second time, then it's understandable to not know what the heck you're doing, right? But
I mean, the example of that is like my video where the only reason I was able to pass that GT3 RS was because that person was blowing the corners, right? And maybe had they, and I know this kind of sounds like self-promoting a little too much, right? But maybe if they would have watched a video similar to that and be like, oh, okay, use all the track. Because the benefit of us having the V-Box in the car is that not only does it catch our stupid stuff, but we also get to see what other people are doing on track and learn from it as well. And that's where we got one of the clips from. I forgot what car it was, but they were like 3/4 to the left over on the track going into one, and they had a whole car's length on the right side that they could have taken advantage of.
Yeah, so it's people that, I mean, they could have the mindset of I'm just gonna go out there and play, which is obviously super cool.
Perfectly
but
fine.
You don't buy a 500 or 600, like I don't even know how much the Manti 3RS costs that we were passing. Like you don't just buy that car and not want to like actually find the limit of the car, right? Imagine.
I don't know about that because there's so many.
No,
people
I mean get close to it
or
or get some speed out of the car.
Yeah, but I mean, some people do buy these cars to just keep them in a garage, which is super unfortunate.
I mean, John tracks a lot of his cars, but there's 35 cars behind this.
There's a collection, right? I think there's a distinction between like Jay Leno's garage where he has cars that are collectible.
Yeah.
But John buys a GT3 RS.
Going to the track.
If it's not him, it's Frank, it's me, it's you. Somebody's going to drive that car. But I digress. Back to your point.
Yeah. So if you want, we could get into them real quick because we do need to run by them. So this one, the reason I put it number one, I think it's the most important, and it's the one that gains you gives you the most lap time, is using all the track. Like we said, time and time again, we see people who like going up turn one, and turn one is basically like it feels like it's a quarter mile, the apex to the left side, but it's pretty far. Some corners, the apex is right there. You just get to it. So it's easy to just have that car start to move left, and that's what we call crabbing. So if you want to make the biggest arch possible, ideally to carry the most speed, and you want to make the apex somewhere in between that.
Yeah, that's usually where I hear Ryan in my ear going, you're cheating again, because it sounds easy, but once you get on a track, especially if you start looking at the corner, this goes to one of your later points, but you start looking at the corner, the car naturally starts moving in the direction of that corner. So you have to be able to kind of look through the turn, but keep the wheel straight so that you can get like a visual reference of when to start turning. But we see that all the time, and obviously I've fallen victim to that several times in the last year, where I'm cheating in and I'm not maximizing the entire track surface.
Yeah, and then this also goes for, so not only is it maximizing entry, and not only is it about maximizing entry, but it's also about maximizing exit. Obviously, as you start getting comfortable throughout the years, you'll start using more curbing. And we'll learn that in some places, like exit of one, you usually don't want to use the curbing, right? So that one, like you can't add that surface to your arch because then you can't move left. But if you're like at turn 12, I know where you're going, you little fucker.
That's
smiling.
I got it.
I know where you're going. It's in the chamber. But if you're going like at turn 11, it's slow speed, and you want to be able to put that, like you want to use every inch and then some, and then keep some of the car on the track. Go, Jorge.
Okay, shout out to Leslie. What's up?
What's up, Lilio?
So, on the topic of using all of the track, there is this. Okay, let me reset.
Okay.
In every sport, there are rules, right? In the NBA, the hoop is a certain distance from the three-point line, a certain height off the surface of the court. In motorsports, there's a bunch of rules, but when it comes to the track itself, there's this thing called track limits. And coming from the sim side, track limits are harsh, right? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I know those of you watching probably do, but just for the uninitiated, the track limits are the boundaries in which you can push the car, let's just say over curbing, for instance, right? How much of that curbing you can actually use and stay within the bounds or the limits of that track. And on the sim, it can be like going as simple as going 2 wheels off. You can go 2 wheels off, or 50% of the car crossing over a certain line on the sim, and then you'll get if you cross that barrier, incident point, and your lap gets an asterisk for going over. What are your thoughts on track limits when it comes to using all of the track, right? Because ultimately, let's just say you set down a 213 Flyer in any given car.
Just spit it out, brother. Say which car.
We're
keep going.
But let's just say you spit out a 213 in a given car, and you go 4 off several sections of the track. Is that even valid anymore? I mean, you guys in the chat, let me know as well, right? Am I overthinking it, especially as HPDEers, because we're not doing time attacks, we're not doing, competitions. What are your thoughts on track limits?
I definitely think like there's some places where I always get feisty, like turn 19, you could say that I'm off track. Sometimes I end up being too early into 19, sometimes I end up straddling perfectly, sometimes I bounce off of it. But for us HPDers, I feel like the goal is to try to keep 2 tires on the asphalt, on the black section, right? On entry, on exit, under braking, corner out. There are multiple series that go to COTA, the IMSA Peeps, we have NASCAR, we have Carrera Cup, and that gets weird, right? Because at that point, like you said, like we're not racing, they are racing, right? And if one guy cuts all the S's and sets this lap time, you can't set it without doing the same, right? So it comes into a slippery slope, and as long as the series allows it, I guess they get away with it. COTA does say like whatever you damage, you have to pay for, but we've seen a lot of series just like go straight through the S's, kick up grass at turn 6, like not kick up, eat the grass at turn 6. The NASCAR people did that, I think. And COTA doesn't, I don't think they charge the series, but for us HPDers, I feel like there's no point in posting a video if you go like 4 off at 19. Like what did you do? like just clean it up, give up a little bit, and show me a clean lap. I prefer to see a clean lap that's a little bit slower than one that you're like over exceeding track limits. And this is where it's a give and take, right? Like today when I was on track, I was like, I bet you I could brake a little bit later. But what if I go off? For me, that's like that lap's done.
Yeah.
But I could be like, fuck it, I'm gonna send it into the 150, and if I go off, the lap still counts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where we saw a video and they sent, the driver did an incredible job. Let's just start with that.
Oh yeah, he was wheeling that thing.
He was absolutely sending it. But then when you see people talk about these lap times on track during HPDEs, I think that if the focus of you posting that video is to demonstrate a lap time, in my opinion, it just has to be clean, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going to claim that this car did this lap, you have to have some semblance of rules or something to say whether or not this is a clean lap, because then it just sets false pretenses, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is something that we should probably just test out and see how much lap time you gain if you completely disregard, track limits, right? You go through turn 12, and if you eat all the curbing on the right, and when I say eat it all, like if you have your passenger side tires on the rumble strips, I think at that point you're off. That's in my opinion, right? But then if you're on the paint, you're like on the other side of the strips, you're definitely off. So how much lap time do you think you would even gain by doing something like that?
Man, I have no idea, but it's something that I've always wanted to test. And, might be able to test it this weekend. Because if someone's going to get trouble, it's going to be Larry. It's not going to be me.
But I mean, you have to think about and to be clear, you have to think about the implications of what exceeding those track limits are and the inherent benefits that come to it, right? Because if you have an extended track by 10, 12 feet, you can roll much more throttle on exit and not have to worry about the consequences of doing that.
Correct.
Whereas if you stick to the track limits, it's completely different. So I don't know. Like I said, I'd be curious to know you guys' thoughts on track limits as HPDE people, because again, we're not competing, but the event organizer does have rules, and technically that guy should have been black flagged and brought into the pits for going 4 off.
I mean, technically he should have. Larry's
like, go for it. That's the type of friends we need, y'all. Send it.
I mean, this could easily be solved at COTA. Just every track out, put gravel, and I mean.
I have video of somebody eating just like on turn 1. They went, they just, I don't know if they even hit the brakes, but they ended up in the gravel, and there's like 6 inches of gravel there. And the car was buried there.
Yeah, so I think there was a track on the F1 calendar that had like a ton of paint everywhere one year. So these guys were like using it all, or they were going off, or they were pushing, they were getting comfortable like overstepping or over speeding on the way in, and they just go straight. Next year they go, boom, there's like gravel everywhere. And it's like, now they can't, right? Now, the other thing too, COTA is built, like it's built so safe that it has all this extra tarmac. I guarantee you these guys, when they're going to VIR or they're going to Barber, you have to stay in track limits, brother.
100%.
It's you stay or you die.
Yeah, because
Or Watkins Glen, yeah.
What's the after the uphill S's, you have that left-hander.
We call it, oh shit.
Dude, if you exceed track limits there, you're gonna be on the other side of the track.
Literally.
And it's not gonna be fun. But anyway, I guess I figure we kind of touch on that because using all the track is ideal within limits.
Yeah, I agree. The next point I made was hit every apex. And the reason I said this is because we're gonna get into something else that this same friend does. But he starts charging entries, starts missing apexes, which means that now you're tight on exit. And I just tell him, commit to every apex. Which in theory is gonna have to slow him down on entry. But if you commit to every apex, then you start realizing, oh, I'm not gonna make it, so I have to break a little bit earlier. So it's a way to like check yourself, is why I said you have to hit every apex. Now, Jorge posted a video of him in the GT4 with your first time driving the GT4 RS, or yeah, I think so, right? You were still like super green.
Yeah, I think I had done 3 track days.
And you were in a 4RS.
And I'm in the 4RS, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna give ride-alongs, and I was like, oh, okay. And I blew turn 11.
Yeah, but
bad.
But you did it right, I feel, because you realized it. Like you realized I am way off position. I need to gather it up. You've gathered it up, pointed it down the track. Boom. If you would have been going through 3 and going like a little too fast, I'm sure you would have tried to like gain the line back. And that's why I said is if like the problem is not missing the apex, or I mean, if you missed it,
you missed it.
You missed it. Yeah, like that's fine. Just get back to the get back to the line so that you don't throw away the next 3 or 4 corners, even if it involves overslowing.
I mean, I think for some people, the concern is the fact that you blew the apex, so now your whole lap is done, right? But there's still, like at COTA, there's 20 turns. So if you blow 11, you still have 10 more turns where you can still focus on nailing those apexes, so that when you come back around the second or the third or the fifth time, you just have one apex that you blew before that you can focus on hitting again. So it's like continuing your practice, I think.
The craziest part is like some of my fastest videos or my best laps at COTA, I've like blown turn 1. And then I guess that gets you like in the mindset, like I'm not gonna do that shit again.
Well, so there is something to be said about kind of displacing a little bit of the apexes. For a few different reasons, right? Like you said, if it's connected corners, like the carousel. The carousel is technically just one big sweeping, but they count corners a little differently there. So you don't hit the first apex that you see going into the carousel. You hit the second one that you see going into the carousel. But the one that I want to bring up the most is turn 1, because turn 1 on the inside of the apex, there's a hump there.
Still there.
And Ryan had me avoiding that hump as much as possible.
That's fair.
And I think that's where you kind of imagine the line or the apex being maybe a little further into the track instead of hitting that, because you don't know how it's going to affect your car. Now, you might have a car that has like the best suspension setup and that hump does nothing.
Nothing to, yeah.
Eat it. But how you take those apexes will be dictated by either whether it's connected corners or if there's some sort of issue with the road surface at the apex.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's, like I said, it's half the battle making every apex. And that, I don't think there's no such thing as like missing all the apexes and getting a fast lap time or keeping it on track. There's just not such thing.
Missing all the apexes?
Yeah.
No.
Like if you start displacing every single apex, it's not going to be fast and it's not going to be good and it's not going to be clean. I mean, just because you're not maximizing. Yeah, it goes back to using the whole track.
Well, it goes back to track limits, right? Because I'm pretty sure you can negate every single apex, but go off everywhere and still make a fast lap. Maybe not the fastest.
We can try.
I don't want to be the guinea pig for that one.
Jeez. So let's move on to the next one. The third point was keeping your vision high. And honestly, this is important for, I mean, remember they had me doing right seating with the guys over when we were doing the autocross?
Yeah.
I was right there, and like you could tell where they were just like fixating on the next thing, right? That's right in front of them. And I'm like, the next cone we have to hit is over here. Like,
yeah, and they're
I was
pulling
like,
it the wrong way.
look through the car, and they're like looking at me, and it's like, yeah, because that's where you want to go. You don't want to be like, what's the point of looking where you need to be over here. So yeah, it's a lot of people struggle to look through the cars and to look through a connected series of corners. I think the best example is G2. A lot of people tell like, oh, you have to be late here, you have to be late here. And I'm just like, look at where the car needs to be. If you look at where the car needs to be at the end of 3 connected corners, you know where to place it on entry to each one of those.
Yeah.
And you don't get it until you see through the whole section.
Yeah, and I think the thing that for us more green drivers is looking where you want to put the car is super important because like I mentioned earlier about using all the track, your eyes, the car is going to go wherever your eyes are looking.
Correct.
That's something that I learned in like the motorcycle safety class when I was trying to ride a motorcycle. They're like, look through the corners, and they're like yelling at us to do this. And I think that's something that some sim drivers actually struggle a lot with getting inside of real cars, because especially if they come from a place that they're using a fixed monitor where they can't see the apex until they start turning the car in a little bit. You can see that some of these guys have very fixed vision.
Fixed vision.
And they don't practice using the looking through the turn, which is why I personally like having a VR headset, because in a VR headset I can look in any direction and see the whole track. And I think that's probably one of the things that I brought with me my first track event, which I think Tim really liked that I was doing, because Tim was like my final instructor for the first weekend. He's like, no, you did good looking through all the corners, and that's something that I picked up from the sim.
Yeah, and you just mentioned like the VR stuff, how you have to turn. I think when you put my onboard, I think I use my eyes more than I move my whole head. And I think TJ does the same thing. But I did see your onboard, and you're more of a like you.
I'm more like,
yeah, you move the whole head, which
me,
is fine, right? But it's
to
just
me now, I use my head as like a marker
as a pointer
for when to turn, right? Because if I'm looking at the apex and it's way over there, and then I see it coming, I wait till my head is at like a certain, like, okay, now I see it right here, turn the car in. So to me, that kind of helps with my own
like a turret.
visual references for driving. Even though in some cases that might be a detriment. I don't know yet, but we'll see.
We have
plenty of season left.
Yeah, we have plenty of season
1 year
left.
at Coda. Never mind, not to have that conversation.
I got way more to talk about with that,
but take us through these last couple, because we have 2 more.
We have 2 more. The next one I think is, and I'm just gonna shout him out. This one came on board because of David Nall.
Where's he at so we can?
Fucking nah.
That's a big dude.
Dude, for real, he'd kick our ass, both of us. I drove his 991.2 GT3 RS that he had a minor accident in. I'm just gonna say it that way. He had a minor accident. But I think the car had like a bent sway bar because we worked on his setup for forever, and the car, the ass was just everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
So he drove that car for 2 years. So now he goes into a car that's more composed, like a 992 GT3, which is what he has now. And he's just like throwing that bitch around. and I'm like, I think he just kept so many bad habits from that 3RS. And like I said in the video, like when I'm behind you, like I absolutely love seeing someone just send it through the S's, right, where the car's like, boom, sliding, and they're like, you could tell they're correcting in the car. The front wheels are moving. Like when Ryan's in front of me, I could see like his corrections just by his front wheels. Like I love to see it, but I do tell David, back it off, half a click.
Yeah.
Half a click. Stop over driving, not because the car is sliding means you're getting everything out of it. Because you could be on the back side of the curve versus of grip, right? Because it's grip, a little bit of slide, a lot of sliding, and you could be on this side and get like use the entire curve, right? Yeah. Max grip, sliding. Don't just live on the sliding part, because you're overusing and you're overheating and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think that's where like new people or people who aren't aware of what it takes to drive cars fast, they look at movies and they see them like drifting around a corner, and they're just like, yo, they're going so fast. Yeah. Like, no, like they actually don't have any traction there, so you're not maximizing how much forward momentum you could be carrying.
Correct.
Now, there is something to be said about karting though, because in karting, you're sliding that cart around, but that's something different, right? That's you're using slip angle to not lose momentum at that point. Whereas tracking, you want the grip to keep moving you forward in the track.
Yeah, and there's, like you mentioned, slip angle, right? Like slip angle is excess rotation under with where the tires are kind of sliding under grip, but that's different to someone who's just chunking it in there and having a huge correction, sliding the car, drifting the car.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, no, Tokyo Drift is definitely not the fastest way out there, but you do, like, if you look at some of the onboards of some guys, I think, what's his name, Lee Keen, if you look at him, you know who that is?
No.
Some dude who's been racing for forever. You see him in like a 964 Carrera that has a cage in it, and he's just like this. The car's just like drifting, but they're on different tires. They're on like the stock tires that have like a shit ton of slip angle, and he's just like sliding it everywhere. In a car like that, it might be the fastest way, but new tires have so much grip that sliding them usually doesn't yield the lap time, and it's not good for longevity. Ask me how I know.
Well, you're gonna chew through some tires for sure.
Yeah.
The last one that you gave, I think, deserves a little bit more of a conversation.
Okay.
Because even for me, as somebody who was a part of the production process and I'm looking at it, to me, I took two things out of it, right?
Okay.
For one that's more directly, one that I can relate more to is moving out of your current group.
Yep.
For us more novice and intermediate people, the reason why we didn't see like a definitive increase in time over the course of my year was because my very first and fastest lap was behind traffic through the S's, and then my last fastest lap, despite me being behind faster cars, I was still stuck behind traffic, for lack of a better way to say it. So moving up will improve the quality of your laps. But then there's also something to be said about, you got a 40-minute session, because I think Chin does a 40-minute session during the day. Don't go out there and just do 40-minute session of just crap laps when you can go out there and maybe do 5-10 laps and really extract as much as you can out of the car in those 5-10 laps. Yeah.
So I know there was, like, it was my thought, or the way I said it was kind of troublesome, but I think you hit the nail on the head. The only thing I can add to that is, and I've been there, right? At some point, like, you do track days and you're just going out there, like you're having the time of your life, right? You're having the time of your life, but you're not seeing any improvement. You're just out there driving and ripping it. And I've been there. But it gets to a point of where you need to see improvement. And like we found with you, and honestly, that's one of the reasons I included that as a bullet point, is you can't run faster than the group you are in sometimes. I definitely want people who are capable and are qualified to move up into the next run groups, right? Because then they start running with people like us, and we don't want someone who just says, I want to get out of traffic, right? And they really don't.
And they create traffic.
And they create traffic in the next group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not what I want, but by quality, I meant, like, if you have an hour session, plan it out. Don't just go out there pound laps for an hour, because I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what tire you're on. It's got a few laps of magic, and then the car's gonna be pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Go out there, pound 3-4 laps, come in, check your tires, let it cool off, and let people get off track, then go at it again. So just be more thoughtful with what you're looking for out of a track day.
I think this kind of divides the crowd a little bit, only because some people do want to go out there and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And if that's you, as long as you're being safe and not impeding others, do your thing. Like, that's not a big deal. And even on our old team, it does kind of, it's easy to fall in that track, right? Because even for our boy Alvin, at one point he was just out there having fun, and then Tim sat in the car with him and he was like, you're doing everything wrong. Like, you're going out there with no purpose.
Yep.
So now Alvin is a lot more like, hey, can you sit in the right seat with me? Because now he's refocusing himself to wanting to get better at the line or find better break points and stuff like that. So I think this is a thing for two different people. If you're out there having fun, like I said, don't impede others. But if you want to actually progress and learn how to get the most out of your car, you have to go out there with a purpose to make sure that you're extracting not only everything out of the car, but everything out of the track that you paid to be on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I completely agree. Yeah, for me, it's really become quality over quantity, and that's why I go out for like 3-4 laps.
Pisses me off, y'all.
Hey,
We got a video in mind, and I'm sitting there with a camera like, where's Felix?
Too bad.
Where? John, There goes John again.
There goes John again.
There goes John again. There goes Ryan again. The orange car, 1 lap, and then you go into the pits. He's like, dude, I did it. He's adjusting. I did it. I'm like, I don't care what you did. I didn't get what I needed. But to be fair, at VIR, you saw the car sitting like, Jorge's going to expect to see this out there. So you took it out there for me.
Which one was the green car?
I think it was the orange car. I don't remember.
Green car, orange car. I don't know. You wanted one car out there, and I'm like, I'll make it happen for Jorge.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes I'll go do a flyer or two, and then I'll find John, and I'll follow John for 4 or 5 laps, and then I'll fall back, and then Larry comes ripping up on me, and I'm like, okay, let me see what we can do here, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. It's definitely fun, but I'm like, I have goals for every car, which is crazy. Yeah, I have goals for every car in this.
Man, and what I would hate for people to get out of this, it'd be like, oh, like you have to go out there and make this some sort of every turn has to be some sort of learning experience, because then that can kind of get monotonous and boring at a certain point. But like you said, maybe you do 3 or 4 laps where you're just focusing on certain things, and then you catch up to one of your boys, or one of your boys catches up to you, and then you guys are kind of playing the cat and mouse game. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and sometimes like when I go out there, I used to drive with Grayson and Alex. There's nothing good about us driving together. Like, there was nothing good about us driving together. We all started blowing corners, and then one goes off, the next guy goes off, then the next guy, because it's a monkey see, monkey do thing, right? And it's cool to a point, but like, especially when we were out there doing like sessions where it's pouring rain, I find someone like Grayson, and it's a competition real quick. And we're in the same car, and it's like, let's see who's it can get out of hand super quick.
That's good that happens amongst you more proficient drivers, because you know me, as soon as I see any glistening on the road, I'm like,
take it easy.
Slowing it down. 10 tenths, what's that? 3 tenths. So, I mean, I thought the video was informative, and like you said, I think the best use case is before you go to the track. We have an HPDE coming up in February. 3 days. It's a 5-minute video. You can listen to that thing on the way to the track. You don't even gotta watch it. You can just sit there and play it, listen to it, and kind of keep those tips in the back of your mind. This way, when you go on track, if you find yourself crabbing in, 'cause I think we have a video of Larry where you can kind of see him start to crab in a little bit, and he like pulls it back over. Yeah. He's like, no, wait, and then uses the whole track. And even some might consider that to be a mistake. But I don't think it's a mistake for him to start moving in, but then when you make the correction, that's a learning moment where you're catching yourself, and that's an improvement. And that's something that hopefully I can start adopting as well, where I can get rid of my early apexing and my crabbing into corners, because I'm pretty bad at doing that right now.
Man, there's honestly like so much going on. And that's why I decided to do this, because it's just 5 things to like work. This covers like probably, I don't know, 80% of what goes into driving.
Yeah, it does cover a big portion of it. And even people who just do sim driving can get something out of it, because I think those same concepts all apply to the virtual world as well. Yeah. So with that being said, we are going to be making more quick videos like that, 5-minute bangers, even 5 things to do to your car before getting out on track, which covers making sure that your car is ready to get out there. Because how many times have we seen somebody go out there and they got the wrong pads?
They got the wrong pads, or they didn't do brake fluid, and they thought their 600 horsepower car was going to be fine just with...
No, the next thing you know, they're going into turn 11 or turn 12 at 160 miles an hour, and the brake feels like mush. Yeah. Dude, I'd be so scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be worried if that was the case.
It's not something I would definitely want to do. And honestly, like, there's so much risk attached to That's like my one fear is it when we're in these cars. Like, yeah, a suspension failure would suck mid-corner or a tire failure, but like losing brakes is gonna not be good.
I mean, losing brakes even on like road driving.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like we took my truck to do those rollers on Coda,
smoking.
and the rotors were like glazed.
Not meant for that. Not meant for that.
And I'm doing like regular driving, and I'm just like, am I like what? I'm like feeling up my brakes because I'm like, dude, sending a 5,000-pound truck into a Honda Civic on 35 would not be good. Ideal.
Yeah.
At all, especially with all the crazy stuff that happens on there. But
for real.
Those were the 5 tips that were put out there, Felix.
If you guys have anything you think I missed, please like jot it down below or go back to the video and comment it there. Yeah. But we did have to do. I mean, it was under 5 minutes.
Under 5 minutes. Hey, look. This is, man. Let me go ahead and put this out there. We tried doing this video over a year and a half ago. Okay, guys. I told Felix, I was like, hey, we're gonna do a top 5 or a top 10. Mm-hmm. We're gonna bring Ryan. This would be a great conversation. You guys are two of the fastest people I know, experienced drivers, blah, blah, blah. Brother, they were sitting here talking for an hour.
It was more than an hour.
They were sitting here talking
more than an hour.
For an hour. And I had to take that video. Listen, I'll probably link it down below so you guys can check it out. Dude, I chopped that. I was lumberjacking that thing for sure because I was like, no way, we're posting an hour-long video about the top 10 things. And each thing had a subcategory of things to discuss. Y'all just took it too far. But this one was a way better version of that.
Way better. I mean, we just needed a year and a half to get our thoughts together. Simon commented, lack of vision makes my chicken foot even worse. I lift because I'm not looking far enough. That makes sense.
Ooh, yeah.
Porque Simon, for those of you who don't know, Simon likes to crash into exhausts that are on track.
Nah, let me defend him real quick, all right? No. Because on that back straight, there's a lot of this going on.
I don't think he would have seen it.
I think the only reason we knew about it was because it was already communicated at that point.
Yep.
And it just so happens that Simon was just like, hey, there's a resonator out there, and we're like, oh, we know. It's like, oh, well, I know now because I ate it.
Yeah, but he's absolutely right. Like if you're not looking far enough, you don't know. I mean, you don't know how much speed you can carry, right? If you're not looking through the exit, through the apex into the exit, and you're looking at just the apex, you're gonna be focused here, and then once you get there, you're like, oh shit, okay, next one. Oh, I should have been on throttle, right?
I think at ECR that makes a lot more sense because not only are you looking through the turn, but you're looking for where to position the car for the next corner. Which as a novice, when I went there, it catches you off guard because you're just like, you're going through a turn, you have one turn there, and then you're like, oh shit, there's already another left-hander to take at that point. So I think, obviously look through all the corners, but especially at places with connected corners, you're looking to set yourself up for the subsequent corners that proceed.
And Simon, like, I don't know if I would change anything you did, right? Because I think his car was going like $120. Trying to avoid that would have been terrible.
I think that probably would have been worse than him.
Like if he would have hit it with a tire, it would have torn up suspension, or it would have I think you did.
He had minimal damage to the car.
For sure. I think it was a really good call. Like maybe unintentional, it just happened. But if he would have tried to swerve, that would have been gross.
For those of us who saw it, who knew about it beforehand, we just kind of displaced the whole line to begin with, and then drove right past it. But if you see something coming that quickly, and you try to make a correction while you're full throttle, that can lead into like disastrous territory.
For sure.
So I guess to pick up a little bit where we left off, any new news on the Coda situation? So far, it seems like we've heard some rumors, but.
So just to touch up on the video, we got so many comments. It was like we got over 300, 400 comments with our comments. There's people with every single approach, right? People saying like, I'm not gonna give Coda another cent. I was planning to attend a WEC race. Now I'm not gonna do that. People talking about taxes and how the city has funded Coda, and other people saying, well, it's technically a private track or they were privately funded, but they do get help from a fund.
Yeah, there's a program in the state where they get reimbursed for large events.
And I mean, a guy commented like, my friend already bought a membership and they're sold out. But I did come from the track. People are still unsure if it's gonna happen. I think there's probably been like a couple memberships that have sold, but they're definitely not sold out. So the reason we're on track is we're doing a T11 condo day. If you own a condo at COTA, Larry owns a condo and he invited me to run there for free as a guest. You get 30 some hours, or you get 4 days, whatever, of track driving. And they had a little display there with how their turn one
the
clubhouse is gonna look. So if they were already sold, they wouldn't need to have that there. And the people that are there have the condo, so they have the probability is high for the people that are already there to buy a membership, right? Because they already have
the condo,
they already have skin in the game with the condo. So man, so many mixed reviews. I mean, so many, not mixed, just so many opinions on COTA. A lot of people, I've been on the phone with a lot of people around the country. I spoke to my brake guy, and he's like, "Hey, is it true?" And I'm like, "Here we go." I spoke with, who did I talk to? I've talked to 3 or 4 people out of state, and they're like, "Hey, is this true?" So it's the word's getting out there, and what I'm telling everyone, like, hey, if you're planning on putting COTA on your calendar, just do it in 26, just in case.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, just put in 26, just in case. And if you don't get your car ready for COTA in 26, I always tell everybody, this is in my comments, I always tell them, like, don't get discouraged. So this is what sucks. It's discouraging people. But I was like, don't.
That's the downside to putting out this video, is that a lot of people are just like giving up on it. Mm-hmm. And
they're giving up not on coming to COTA. They're giving up on like building a car, because they wanted to build the car, bring it to COTA. And I'm like, there's fucking great tracks in Texas.
Yeah, and this is partially why I'm like, I wish that COTA would just come out and say something. It's like, hey, this is, I mean, I get it. Their track is already
These guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Nothing better than seeing a tortoise on the back straight.
I wish they would just come out and say something about it already to dispel rumors, because at this point, we've given you guys all the information that we have, and at this point, all we have is grapevine. I mean,
they didn't talk about it in this T11 condo drivers meeting or anything. Mm-hmm. Like, they just have the little post there, or the little stands with a couple pictures. That's it. They didn't say like, hey guys, I would like to
sign up for our membership.
Sign up for, nothing like that.
Actually, I'm curious if Larry, already having a condo, would he even be notified, or has he been notified of this already? Like I said last time, guys, I signed up for the, like, get more information on their club splash plate page. And I don't know if they just Googled me and figured out that I'm not in the tax bracket.
Poor.
And they just didn't respond back. But I asked for information and I haven't gotten it yet. So this is the ambiguity that I don't like about these things. Mm-hmm. Like, we're going to go through the rest of the year thinking that this is going to be the last one. And if they don't make enough memberships, they're going to go, oh, it's not 2027, it's 2028, or it's Q3 2027.
They're fishing.
They're fishing. What I'm saying? So, and then that leaves room for people like the guy who commented to go, yeah, my friend got a membership, tried to get a membership, and they're sold out. It's like, now we're getting information from somebody who got the information from somebody else who said they got the information.
Yeah, my friend's uncle's cousin bought a membership. Like, yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't like that ambiguity at all. I think that ambiguity just flat out sucks. And I would prefer for them to just bite the bullet and say, hey, fuck y'all, we're going private, if that's the route that they want to take. And just let us know. This way we can properly plan 2027. Hey, we're going to go to ECR more often. We're going to go to MSR Houston, MSR Crescent. And this way, the event organizers for sure can plan out, people like Edge Addicts to start. I'm pretty sure that they'd be dumb if they didn't start looking at 2027 and thinking about Crescent and Houston
But all those are already pretty packed with. Yeah, no. You're right.
But if they want to continue their business model, they have no choice but to try to squeeze in dates at those tracks.
Yeah. So we've been talking about everything. Larry, myself, and Matt. I think we have like a little loophole that we might. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to hang on
no,
tight for that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You guys are gonna have to hang on tight for that one.
Motorsports on the live on this day said, wait,
Yeah,
let's
you guys are gonna have to hang on, but I think there's a way for us to continue to get on track through 26. If Edge Addicts is smart, I think they can figure it out as well. We'll know when it's more definitive, but yeah, everyone is still saying like it just sucks.
Yeah, let's just hope that boss man is right, that this is just a dumb decision, and who knows, maybe. Well, I guess that poses an interesting question, right? Because if people already forked over the $1 million for the membership, I'm assuming that you have to fork that over now, even though it's for 2027. Mm-hmm. And they only get 5 people who signed up for it. What do you do then? Yo, imagine private track at COTA with only 5 people who can drive it.
That'd be crazy. No, that's
laps
not,
that you'd be able to
that's
send.
not feasible.
But I don't think people who are getting those memberships are sending spicy
That's not
laps.
feasible. But we're trying to figure some stuff out. I think we can stay on track and maybe invite a group of people. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
We'll see what happens, guys. Well, listen. 5 tips, like Felix said, just put it as a part of your favorites or your watch later. When you go to the track, put it on, remind yourself of some of the things that you should be working on the track. Very basic, easy things. Or maybe you just pick one of them, right? For us novice people, we don't want to get overloaded with information. So maybe focus on just using all of the track and hitting your apexes. One by one, you can start knocking off those 5 things from your checklist. But for you more advanced folks, I think running through that list before hitting the track would probably be super beneficial. And don't forget, if somebody catches you, even if they're in a smaller car, give them the point buy. Don't impede their lap because you're trying to best your own. Felix, you got anything else for the people?
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, this is gonna... No, the refresh is definitely amazing. Like I said,
you didn't talk about the refresh. So you want to talk about the refresh real quick?
Oh, yeah. So I meant the refresh of the video was actually pretty amazing. I watched it 3 times to the track. It helped me. But like what Jorge said is super important. Take one, work with it. But if you see the whole video, I guarantee you the other 3 or 4 things are in the back of your mind and you're still working on them together. For those of you guys who are coming in February, their weather's probably going to be insane. It's either going to be insane or it's going to be shit. So because there's always like rain in February.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so it's either going to be great or it's going to be shit. But anyways, there's a new, COTA always repaves over the winter break, which is December to January. I don't know if they're going to be doing any more repaving, but the one place that we always complained about, or I complained about, is turn 12, how the braking zone has kind of like, it has undulation, and you kind of like, the pedal always feels super weird because the car's going into the divot, then coming back up. So it feels like ABS, or you kind of have to like modulate the brakes. All that's gone probably from under the gantry. So that would be like 200, 250?
Something like that.
Yeah. So all that is new until like 10, 20 feet past the apex of 12. So as of now, that's completely fresh. It has really good grip. If you're braking in a straight line, it's got decent grip. But as soon as you like try to add lateral grip, it's not taking it. I don't know how this makes sense in my mind, but...
Yeah, I get what you mean. So, I mean, as you turn the car in to rotate it through there, there's a chance that you might end up over-rotating in that corner. So maybe by the time we get to the event in February, guys like you would have rubbered it in a little bit more for us and put some good laps on it.
I don't think the track needs repaving elsewhere, right? Like, the S's are kind of bumpy and shit.
No, I don't. I mean... I'm not at the point where I'm just like, oh, the track surface feels this type of way. Like, I know where there are certain things on the track to avoid, but I'm not to the point where I'm just like, oh, yeah, you said the undulation in turn into 12, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't feel that just yet, but I guess more for you guys coming into the track on February. We all will be out there sending out some laps, and it's gonna be a cool event because it's gonna be some nighttime driving. So
it's gonna be an awesome event. Just a ton of driving Sunday. We're always just gonna be like,
yeah, everybody's gonna be dead.
And Jorge's gonna be driving.
And I'm gonna be driving. Because I got work to do, but I'm getting some laps in there.
It'd be great.
That video should be really interesting because it's gonna involve a lot of bravery. We'll put it that way. But thank you guys so much for joining the live today. We really do appreciate it. Before you guys go, please hit the like button if you have not already. And if you're watching this as a part of our archive, please consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content and to watch us learn, make mistakes, and repeat that cycle so you don't have to.
bring them along for the ride, for sure. That's what it's about.
But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch you guys for the next one.
Happy Elm McKay.